strap yourselves in because we're on to our next leg of our journey. Let's go. Let's say hi to David and Nicola. How are you guys?
Great. Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Good. So, what can you tell us about what you do at LeddarTech?
So here at LeddarTech, what we do basically is we develop uh, perception software. So in other words, we're kind of the eyes of the car, so we can see right around what's happening. As mentioned before, yes, autonomous vehicles do need connectivity and cell phone towers and all that stuff in order to talk to each other. For example, calculate their very precise GPS location. But it's not all they need. All not all road users are able to communicate that way. They don't have that capability. So we
For
still need to
sure.
be able to see around what's going on, and that's what we do here at LeddarTech.
That's awesome. Just so I understand, there's a camera at the front of the car that's basically also helping the car navigate, correct?
Exactly. More precisely, there's 5 cameras in total. So there's one main camera looking at the front of the car, but there's also 4 other cameras that are situated all in front, one in the back, and one on each side of the car, so we can really get a full 360 view of what's going on.
Wow. That's already really impressive. 5 cameras on a car is way more than I thought. As you were saying earlier, there's a lot of different softwares that you use or that the car uses to travel safely. Can you talk to us a little bit more about those softwares?
Absolutely. So basically, what we need is a bunch of sensors. So radar, camera, lidars, all that sort of sensors uh, installed on the car. And what the software does, basically, it takes all that information from all the different sensors. So from the radar, cameras, all that raw information, raw data, and fuse them together in order to make a detection, in order to see what's going on. So the camera is quite simple, it just sees what's happening in front of it. But for radars, it's a different type of data, so we need to interpret all that stuff, make sense out of it, mix it together, and then at the output, we're going to have an image with a detection, and the software is going to be able to know that this is a car, this is a pedestrian, and so on and so forth.
So it takes in a lot of different factors. So, like as we can see right now, this sensor is detecting other cars on the road, the trees, other road signs. It's really cool to see how much information it's gathering. Can you talk to us a little bit more about autonomous vehicles and their roles when it comes to reducing accidents?
Of course. So they're definitely more safer. Reaction time of the software is a lot more faster than the human. So if I'm about to get into an accident, before I realize the fact that I'm about to get in an accident, it might be too late. Whereas the software can make a decision in a split second, meaning that its reaction time is faster and might avoid uh, any accident hitting because power to brake or stop the car in time before accidents happen. Um, and that's the point of having all those sensors. See, today we have a lot of snow. Uh, Conditions are not ideal, so having only one sensor to rely on, if for instance, if we only have cameras and the camera view is blocked, then the car is basically blind. But if you have different sensors installed, like radars and lidars, then if one of the sensor fails, you can still rely on the remaining sensors to get a detection and prevent an
For
accident.
sure. So, like you were saying, your job is basically to collect a bunch of data to give the car more actions to automatically take. Is that kind of how AI works or artificial intelligence?
Yeah, in a sense, basically, in order to get the system to work properly, we need to train it. And the way we do to train it is we record data out on the road, as we're doing right now with this very car. So we go out, we record the environment, the cars around, and what's happening, and then we feed it to the software, to the AI, so it can learn how what the world looks like. I go back to that very difficult question, and as you said it, there's no right answer there, because even
Mm.
as a human, it's hard to answer that question. But technically, if we, and it's again, it's not necessarily, it's not the end line there, but if it's trained by human, and it's trained in real environment, a little like a human would do. There's no, there's no hard line there where you can say it's going to do that or that. It's hard to tell. It's still artificial
Hmm.
intelligence. It's going to be able to make a decision on its own, and we still need to figure out as a society, how we're gonna let the system act, depending on the situations and situations like that.
Yeah. It's definitely a learning experience both for humans who are working on these cars and the car itself. Actually, would we be able to park the car for a bit and see around the car and inside the car what else is made up of it? Because it'd be really cool
Yeah,
to see all these other cameras.
yeah, of course. Let me just walk out the car really quickly, and I'll show you around.
For sure. Awesome. Oh, yeah. And we see you from the front camera as well. That's so cool.
I can show you around first the sensors we were looking at earlier. This is
Mm.
the front radar there, and right above it, right there, you can see one of the cameras around the car. And then, like I said, I don't remember if I said it, but there's three radars at the front and two radars at the back. Looking at the top of the car, you can see both lidars installed right there, and then right next to it, behind, that's a GPS antenna right there, and then working our way towards the back, there's another camera right there, and I can show you really quickly inside the trunk of the car where the PC runs all of this equipment right
Wow.
there. But as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in there. Uh, Obviously, this is a rolling laboratory, if I may say. There's a lot of equipment going in and out, uh, new stuff for testing, and we need a lot of processing power in order to record data and analyze the data. So now it's a big PC running inside, but obviously on a production vehicle, it's got to be a very small very small computer that can fit into any car. You won't see any custom PCs in the trunk.
Hmm. Actually, that's been really great to see the ins and outs of this car. How do you become an engineer making autonomous vehicles?
Yeah. The most common path to become like someone that can work at LeddarTech on autonomous cars is a degree in engineering. So, for example, I did a bachelor's in robotics engineering, but there can be many fields of engineering, and there are also other paths that can lead to this. For example, David did a degree in like.
Basically, I'm a mechanic, so I'm a bit of an imposter there. I'm not an engineer technically. But with experience, I worked in autonomous vehicle and other companies before, mainly in the aftermarket segment of the market. So basically repairing those systems, the systems that already exist, and then here I am right now building those very systems. So it's super exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Students, all the questions that you guys have sent in, we'll be sending them to the experts afterwards so they can send back their answers. Well, that's all the time we had with you. Thank you so much, Nicolas and David. Thank you for showing us this tour of the vehicle and all of your explanations. I think we're really getting it now. It's really cool. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Fantastic.
you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, you guys. Bye bye.